I have been here giving this very presentation a time or two before in the 15 or more years that I've been coming to visit. And every single time, there's new stuff to consider, isn't there? Tilling our common ground seems more impossible now than it ever has, doesn't it? It's funny. I usually think to myself, well, I'm always kind of curious to see what people have been up to. And it used to be that I would ask the question of you, how many of you have found yourself arguing with strangers on the internet within the last 48 hours? And what I'm going to ask you this morning is, how many of you have just stopped doing that altogether? Because that's kind of necessary for our own self-preservation, isn't it? I'm not going to even try to tell you that I have answers for you this morning, but I'm also not here to complain. I'm here simply to hold up my one little light, along with the many beacons of light that have already been held up in beautiful words and images this morning in this very room. What I will attempt to do today is help us find a way to go forward, taking care of us. Because sometimes our healthy boundaries, and maybe now more than ever, are really part of the gift we have to offer as we till that common ground. I always have wondered, as we've gone through this period of intense division, stoked deliberately, appealing to the non-8 principles of our human nature, I've often wondered, if only, the if only thing, right? If only they would see the light. If only I could make them listen. If only they would take a moment to pay attention, and I am done with if only. Because this is new. We're in a new time. Probably in all the years that I've been tilling our common ground, this is probably the most afraid any of us has ever been. The mission seems to have been burn it all to the ground, right? What I would like to do this morning is help remind us that none of this is truly new. That we are human beings, and in groups of human beings that survived by tribalism through all human history. Tribalism is something that is reached for. What is American and not unique is the struggle between the worth of work and the weight of wealth. And I don't have to tell you much of anything about which side has the upper hand in that battle right now. The thing is, maybe by clearing away everything, maybe by this whole burn it down, maybe we don't need to be the if only they would see. Maybe we need to find a way to keep a door open when they're ready to walk in. And yet it's okay to acknowledge our own angers and fears, for these are the times we're living in. Hurricane flags flutter in warning the highway to high ground. Unmoved all morning, the least of the least. Phantoms in plain view, begging a ride, begging for rescue from under the bottom line. Onto the TV they're suddenly seen, looking through hope sputtered and dying, scattered like matchsticks, flood waters preordained, tempest-filled teacup, the driftwood of Pontchartrain, call out for mercy, but there's no answer when we ask how it went so wrong. Can you believe these times we're living in? Can you believe these times we're living in? Can you believe these times we're living in? Somehow overheated, the road to salvation as we lose our grip with each revelation of unholy deals, fleecing the faithful, shattering vows, cracking the crucible to steal from the people. Was that Jesus' teaching? We recite the words, but lose their meaning. The princes and pundits cloaked in theocracy, while thieves in the temple are looting our liberty. Is this what it comes to? Power and preference, executive privilege, for or against us, wrapped in the flag, discredit dissenters while they tear down all we hold dear. Can you believe these times we're living in? Y'all can sing it with me. Can you believe these times we're living in? Can you believe these times we're living in? Can you believe these times we're living in? Can you believe? Thank you. You know, I have taken notice over the last 20 years, but especially since the invention of the iPhone. I sometimes feel like despite everything, despite all of the craziness and what we're living through right now, I still feel somewhat blessed to live through remarkable times, although I wish I hadn't been quite so blessed to live in interesting times. That I could have lived without. Because if you think about it, as a folk singer and songwriter, I have had the good fortune to travel this big, beautiful country of ours over the last 30 years, much like Woody Guthrie during the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression, or Dylan during the times of the 60s and social upheaval, bearing witness to profound change. And the profound change that I have witnessed is because of these gizmos that we have in our pockets that tell us how to go to get places without getting lost, to tell us what we need at the grocery store, to tell us our kid got to where they were going safe, to tell us that the weather is going to change, to tell us, and tell us more. And it allows us to pick who we want to tell us. It allows us to associate with people who share our values, our UU values, our values as musicians, our values as people, our values around anything that's important to us, anywhere in the world. That's astonishing. We have created communities of shared values, communities of choice, no longer bound by geography, no longer bound by a map, no longer bound by where I can walk or where I can drive. We have gathered ourselves into tribes at the expense of our neighbor across the street who has a different sign in their yard in October. At the expense of understanding our shared humanity, of understanding that we all walk a unique path, and we have all suffered our own individual traumas and triumphs, and nobody can know what those felt like to us. And it's become so easy to other them, and them to other us. Where we sit today is a result of both profound technological advancement and the ease with which it has been exploited to divide us deeply. Maybe the thing that troubles me the most these days, and maybe the way to the road to hope, is that right now we in this country suffer from an enormous empathy deficit. That othering made it so easy for us not to worry about those traumas and triumphs our neighbor might have gone through. Why are they like that? What are they afraid of? Why do they hate so readily? Maybe the road back becomes when we all are looking out and trying to find a way to get through. We need to remember how to walk a few steps in someone else's shoes. Darkness in the desert, searchlights glare and there's gunshots and shouting, but somehow I slip by, only God knows why. The trucker dropped me at the Arkansas line. Where I come from is where the drugs run, and the men come with money and lust. For honest living, oh God's forgiving, for I left my family for this one chance at hope, and I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? And scratches, chemical rashes. No one trusts me to do more than clean, but I've got secrets. I've learned English. Someday the name on the door will be mine, and I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all the politicians. State their positions, collecting campaign cash to build a wall behind them. But I do work you won't, dirty jobs you don't. All I ask is the our right to be human, and I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? Thank you. The guitar switch. We find ourselves living in interesting times. I fervently believe in the power of hope, but I have tempered my belief somewhat with the realities of the times. I haven't given up on hope, don't you think? But I've come to view in this current climate the act of taking moments to enjoy life, your family, the things that are in close, the things that have always been there. If you like cooking, cook for somebody. If you like gardening, man, now's the time to get your fingers in the dirt. We say in Virginia, St. Patrick's Day is when you should be planting your peas after you finish your Guinness. Peas and potatoes. And how can we carry on doing simple, joyful little things like that with all the hell that's going on in the world? Because the act of living your life joyfully is an act of resistance all on its own. And imagine, I know I've said this in this very building before, one little thing by itself is an intimate act. But what about the power of millions of little things all together? We are more than the sum of our parts. Yes, our first principle is a little challenging right now. The worth and dignity of every. Is the every negotiable? No. No, the every is not negotiable. But can we make something better for somebody now, in this moment? Sí, se pueda. Yes, each of us, yes, we can. Do I feel better just being here, looking each of you in the eyes this morning? You bet. Yes, I do, and I am deeply grateful. This act of rebellion, by being joyful, by not living completely terrified all the time, not ignoring what's going on, doing our work, writing our postcards, showing up, but not letting our lives be completely derailed intimately with those that we love in our own homes, in our own communities, because we are something worth standing for. Thank you, Jeremy, for taking such good care of me this morning. An old man mowing grass on a levee, drenched in sweat in the noonday sun. to say. You gotta haul all you need from the river, build your temple up from the floor. Be grateful for every gift you get. Find something worth standing for. I've been down in the shadows about the shape I'm in, a mess made with my own hands. And I could write a book with lessons I've learned and hard luck that made this man. I've walked in the valley of darkness. I've known heartbreak, I've known loss. But I'm still standing on these 2 feet, amazed it only got me across. So haul all you need from the river, build your temple up from the floor. Be grateful for every gift you get. Find something worth standing for. Before he turned to leave, he said, now hear me, son, I can talk till my face turns blue. What matters ain't the words you say, it's all the little things that you do. Don't be afraid to help another, 'cause when your time's up there's nowhere to hide. And the walls we build to keep us safe are prisons that trap us inside. So haul all you need from the river, build your temple up from the floor. Be grateful for every gift you get. Find something worth standing for. Thank you all so much for having me this morning.